I'm meteorologist in my city. It's Tuesday's Weather Madness time. And yesterday, as we talked about, it was going to be a big day for severe weather across the mid-Atlantic states and parts of the Appalachians. See clustering thunderstorms, Pittsburgh into Morgantown, West Virginia, that area. Then another clustering across northern tier of Pennsylvania. And then in the mid-Atlantic states, and then from there, we had a lot of scattered reports of wind and everything from the south. Even a few reports up in here yesterday. Coming up, one of the themes that we're going to be talking about, as well as the Gulf of Mexico, is that the last half of June is probably going to be very active in terms of severe weather. In fact, in some cases, especially up here across the Northeast and the Eastern Great Lakes, this area here, things could get pretty volatile. I'm talking that with these troughs that are going to be dropping in, we could be talking about tornado activity up here across this whole area coming up, starting maybe this weekend, but certainly next week and after that, we could be talking about some pretty volatile weather coming in here with these cold fronts coming through. This is the kind of time of the year when you don't play around with, with the heat and humidity coming in pretty plentiful. You get these troughs that are coming in that look more like spring troughs that you can get some pretty nasty severe weather. And this is for Thursday, starting in the Midwest, where some severe weather is going to break out. And there's probably going to be a complex of storms that break out here that end up actually heading southeast in the Ohio Valley. All right, moving on to the satellite picture this morning. And here's Tropical Storm Bill that spun up pretty quickly. Okay. And what's interesting is that we looked at we're all kind of meteorologists say all looking at the GFS model and trying to really get a handle on how it's going to handle the tropics. Remember, it did have a system over here at one point, kind of lost it, but it did have a system there. Then it did have this sort of low center developing along the front, moving up into the northeastern part of the country, and it's always had this thing down here in the Gulf of Mexico. So, It was kind of okay, all right, but it was kind of like it had the right answers, In any case, we have Bill moving up in here. If this develops here, if this thing gets its act together down here, this would be Claudette, okay, and it will move up this area and then probably out like that. That's the way it looks like right now. We'll talk more about that in a second. All right, showers and thunderstorms up across the Northeast today. There could be some small hail mixed in with those thunderstorms up here. And we got some more thunderstorms over here. It's not going to be an overly hot weather pattern coming up, okay? With these cold fronts really getting pretty far south and the secondary cold front coming in, really the pretty much this whole area here is going to stay relatively seasonable, maybe slightly below normal temperature-wise. So it's not a particularly hot weather pattern, but a little bit less humid weather pattern, and temperature is okay for this time of year, okay? This is the simulated radar for the Northeast this evening. You see the thunderstorms up here across Maine, Vermont, New Hampshire, and into New England here. Again, there could be some small hail wrapped into those storms. And then tomorrow, with all the fronts going down, lovely weather kind of sandwiched in here. Some showers and thunderstorms start to break out across in the plains, but we're still kind of watching this area down in here. Low pressure should finally get its act together down here. And we may start seeing the first signs of a depression developing. All right, this is a graphic. They're kind of wavering. They've been up and down with this whole percentage out here. Here's Bill. All right, heading out. They got 20% there. But again, they're playing caution because it's taking a long time to get developed out there. You know what I mean? And then the tropical models basically have it coming up northbound. It's sort of a blend from Corpus Christi to Corpus Christi, Christi, to New Orleans to Corpus Christi. But really, the center of it looks like Louisiana, and then up through the south is going to be the path. In fact, this morning's intensity models are kind of like, the ship model's been doing pretty good in keeping it a tropical storm. This is worrisome. I'm not familiar with this model, how it all works, but one of the problems we might see is this thing rapidly intensifies as it comes up toward the coast. And, so something we kind of watch. This is my map that I have out right now. Development taking place here this week, and then this weekend it comes on up. It could intensify quickly, and then it comes up and goes to the south like that. And then you could have a lot of heavy rain across the south, into the Tennessee Valley and the Carolinas with this system. That's one of the big things we're going to have to watch. GFS model has more of a broad look to it, you know. So what's interesting is that some of the models bring it up, and the European model intensifies it, where Bill intensifies it going out. So it could be a situation where it doesn't really get its act together until it gets over here, and then becomes a tropical storm, heads out. You know what I mean? So it could happen that way. In any case, you kind of get the idea that it's coming up into the south. There's going to be a band of heavy rain coming with it. And we will have to deal with some flooding problems, which we've been talking about all week long. Well, since last week, we've been talking about it. And north of that area, we've got a cold front coming through. This is going to spark some heavy thunderstorms up here across the northeastern part of the country. And then another band of thunderstorms comes through on Monday, the 22nd. And this could be a pretty good outbreak of severe weather up here across this area. Something I'm watching closely. It's a big trough coming in. And remember I talked with a big, this is a 988 millibar low. That's pretty impressive for June standards, okay? So let's, you know, if this model's right, really vague. This is going to be a nasty outbreak of severe weather up here. Yeah, maybe some tornado activity. So we'll have to kind of see how it pans out. All right, that's it for now. We're going to be really kind of in the tropical look at things right now, kind of keeping things up to date on the tropics throughout the Weather Madness blogosphere. All righty, have a good Tuesday. I'm meteorologist, Hermann City.